good tactic to study languages every day, non-stop, even if you are undisciplined. And so why am I to tell you this? Well, I've been studying languages for 4 years, English for 4 years, Japanese for 2 years, and recently I've started learning German too. And because of learning languages, I've become a totally, completely different person, and I want the same thing to happen to you. And so the first point that we're going to be talking about is always do the action that is the most difficult first. And you have to identify what that action is. And so what that action is actually very simple. If you're studying a language, that's probably reading or maybe listening alone, right? And so for most people, it's usually just reading because they don't have the attention span to basically do that thing. And so basically you want to read first thing in the morning, usually. Also, there's people that can't do listening for that much hours because it's just boring to literally just watch your fucking screen and don't do anything because you are listening to something. And so basically the thing that I recommend here is not to play a video game while you're listening. While it can work, right? I mean, it can work. I'm not going to lie to you. It can work, yes. But your attention span is just going to go to the bullshit, right? Because you're paying attention to the audio, but like at some point you're just going to stop paying attention to it because you're playing a video game, right? And so it's not that much worth it, right? Like I'm telling you, there's people who do listening with like TikTok or Reels. And yeah, it can help you to basically do study the language with TikTok or with Instagram. But like at some point, you're going to just basically your attention span is just going to become bullshit. And because of this, you are not going to be able to read, right? And your ability to read will basically just go down like this. And so maybe no, like it's just not worth it. Please don't learn languages with TikTok, Reels, or do listening while you play video games. No. Instead, do this, which is to do some kind of extraction and do listening in that extraction. You clean your house and you do listening. You do some jogging, you do listening. You, jump the rope, you do listening, right? Whatever type of activity that is kind of healthy and you can do lots of hours of listening with it, that's cool. You go on a walk and you do listening, right? I actually don't like this one much because like when I go to walks, I just want to be kind of in silence. But sometimes when I go to like the park and I want to basically do some stretches in there, some calisthenic stretches, basically what I do is just listen to something. Unless there's someone that I want to talk to there, I will recommend to you that if you want to improve like as a human being, and when you improve as a human being, your ability to study improves too. And so if you want to improve as a human being, just basically talk with people when you go to the park, talk with people when you go to the gym. And whenever you have some free time on the day, maybe you're working and your work is like just very boring, maybe you just do passive listening. When you stretch, do passive listening, clean your house, passive listening, cook, passive listening. That's it, that's what I do. That's the first point. And please do the action that is the most difficult first thing in the morning. So that's, you wake up at 6, brush your teeth, bath, maybe stretch a bit, and literally just start doing the most difficult action. That's how it works usually. And the second point is please have a good sleep schedule and wake up early, because it's not the same thing. You can have a good sleep schedule, which is like, from 12 to 8, and you're sleeping 8 hours, yes, but like you are not waking up early. So I would recommend to you that on top of having a good sleep schedule, please improve, please wake up early, right? Especially if you go to work, if you go to college, if you go to school at 7 or 8 a.m. or something like that, right? This is really important. Why? Because if you are less than 18 years old, something that happens to you, this is something that happens to me, is that you live with your parents. And your parents can get pretty annoying, I know that, right? If they don't respect you, then they will literally get more annoying, right? And so one thing that you can do here, which is basically what I do, is that I wake up early. I wake up at 5, I wake up at 6, and basically at that hour they haven't woke up. They haven't waked up yet. They haven't woke up yet, right? And because they haven't woke up, the important thing here is that you can do your most efficient study before they wake up, and so they won't interrupt you. Also, if you go to work, if you go to college, if you go to school, you will be able to have some time before you go there, right? And so there's people that have to go to work at 7 and they have to prepare at 6. Well, I will say to you, if you're actually pretty serious on learning a language because you need it for your work, then I will tell you, wake up and do it before you go to work, right? You can say, okay, I'm prioritizing learning languages right now, but like in reality, you are not prioritizing learning languages. Why? Because you do it you do it after you go to work, right? And so if you're actually prioritizing something and you believe that you're prioritizing it, then do it before you do the whatever other thing. Before you go to work, before you go to college, before you fab, before you play video games. Always do that, right? That's the second point. And please, wake up early, have a good sleep schedule. How do you have a good sleep schedule? Well, you wake up at the same hour and sleep at the same hour. Always, it doesn't matter what, right? Something that I can tell you here also is that you don't sleep, don't go to sleep, you don't get, I don't know the exact word, but like the point is that if you get on bed, you're not going to sleep instantly, right? And so what I do here is that basically, if I have to sleep if I have to basically like be sleeping at like 10 p.m., basically I get on bed at 9 a.m. 9 p.m. right? And basically I get super sleepy before 10 p.m. I get super sleepy, and at 10 p.m. I literally just end up sleeping, right? And I wake up at 6 without really that much problems. And so that's what I will tell you. Please, always at the same hour with 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes of difference. Maybe you sleep at, maybe you end up sleeping at 10:50 or 10:10 p.m. or something like that. Well, it doesn't really matter, honestly. As long as there's no more than 15 minutes of difference between the times that you end up sleeping or not, right? And at last, meditate. This is probably the most important habit that you can do, and the most efficient habit that will improve your concentration. And how do you do meditation, and what is meditation? First, meditation is the habit in which you basically concentrate, put your focus on something, and basically you lose that focus and you recover that focus after you notice that you have lost the focus, right? And so this is very important. Why? Because there's people that say that they are not able to do meditation and they literally just have tried one-time meditation. But like the bad thing, the thing that people don't understand is that they are able to do meditation, but like they think that they can't do it because they are not able to concentrate. But like that's not the point. The point of meditation is that you lose your focus and then you recover that focus again and again and again and again and again, right? That's the point of meditation. And so if I'm trying to focus on my breath, or maybe in this pair of keys, then basically I will concentrate and I will be for 2 minutes like this. And then at some point I will lose my focus. I will think about the girl that I want to fuck, and then I will do something like that, and then I will be for 10 seconds like this. And then I say, okay, I lost my focus. And now I recover my focus back to the keys. And then you do that again and again and again. And how this will help you when it comes to immersion? Oh, it's actually really simple. In your immersion, basically, whenever you lose your focus, you will say, okay, I'm not thinking about the immersion, and basically you will recover your focus again and the immersion. That's how it helps you. Now, how would you do meditation? You will go to YouTube. You will go to whatever application that you find on the App Store, on the Play Store. The one I use is Medito, totally free. It's literally a foundation that is totally free for people, that is basically made to make meditation totally free. You go to that application, you meditate in there, you graph a guided meditation. If you don't know how to meditate, basically, you graph a guided meditation and they tell you what to do. And by meditating 2 to 5 minutes a day for the first 2 months, you are fine. And if you can get it to 10 minutes every day for the rest of your life, you're literally going to change completely, and your concentration is going to change completely too. Also, your ability to make decisions, which will improve. Also, your language learning will improve too. So that's it for the video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all of those things if you want more people to know about this. Thank you.